Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to the video. I hope your morning is going great. Today we got a really cool video. We're going to be talking about the Boston Uprising first. They have basically made history in the Overwatch League. The first team to completely sweep an entire stage 10-0. I don't want to brag or anything, but I did kind of predict this at the beginning of the stage. After that though guys, we're going to be talking about the Seoul Dynasty. Why is RYUJEHONG playing Winston? Oh no. He's going to suffer the same fate as Taimu. Oh, even thinking about it just gives me nightmares. I hope not. We're going to cover that entire situation. I still can't believe it. It's crazy. What the hell is the Seoul Dynasty coaching staff doing? We're just going to cover all the games. We're going to cover the Boston Uprising and LA Gladiators game today, the Seoul Dynasty and London Spitfire game, and then we're going to do a mini preview for tomorrow, the LA Valiant Philadelphia Fusion. What a huge matchup. Decides who is going to move on. Is it going to be Philly? Is it going to be the LA Gladiators? Who knows? If you're new around here, guys, do not forget, click the subscribe button, like the video. As of lately, I've been reading a lot of comments about no more drama, stuff like that. If you guys want more content about the games, statistics, predictions, pretty much Overwatch League game content related, let me know. And now, let's go ahead and start this video off with the Boston Uprising. Honestly, guys, round of applause. It's absolutely incredible what they've done. I know I kind of bragged at the beginning of the video, but let's be honest, I did not see this coming. It doesn't matter if I made a video at the beginning of the preseason saying that the Boston Uprising would win the Overwatch League. I didn't think they would go 10-0 in a stage, beating every single Korean team. I thought they would just be a playoff contender. This is absolutely insane. And I said it earlier in my video when I was talking about my MVP candidates, Striker has seriously put this team on his back. It's like mind-blowing how well he is playing throughout this stage. It is so consistent. Every single game he has been in, he has like a plus 40, plus 50 KD. And this is against the best teams in the league while going 3-2 in almost every single set. The Boston Uprising roster as a whole is really good. The way they support Striker is amazing. The coaching staff, they don't get enough credit. I should talk about the Boston Uprising coaching staff more. There's something I wanted to do for the Boston Uprising in this video, and that's take a look at their last 11 matches. So first, let's look at their past 11 games and check out Striker's KD compared to everybody else in the game. So starting off with yesterday's Boston Uprising Los Angeles Gladiators match, Striker 63-24. Nobody even near him on his team. Mistakes somewhat close, but not really. Moving on to the next one, we have the Los Angeles Valiant game from a couple days ago. Again, Striker 68-26 plus 42 in a 3-2 victory, guys. Mistakes isn't even close. Notes, kind of, not really. Again, just insane carry. The next one, 49-30. Everybody on his team is negative in this win over Seoul Dynasty. This is actually a really close match. Seoul Dynasty had more kills and more team fights won. That's actually insane how they pulled this out, and I think we know why. Looking at Striker, insane, dude. Topping the entire game once again. Next one, Boston Uprising versus London Spitfire. Same thing. The whole team is negative. Gamsu's even, but Jesus Christ, how is this possible? How are they winning these games? Look at this. They have like 4 people positive. Profits popping off, playing. Like, I don't get it. How does Boston Uprising pull some of these games out? You got to give it up to the coaching staff and just how much heart this team has. They don't give up, and just the last moments, they come in clutch. Again, losing in team fights and kills. Oh my God. They lost by 8 team fights, and they lost by over freaking 50 kills almost. How did they win this game? Next one, Florida Mayhem. A team you wouldn't even expect them to be close to. They still struggled. Wow, 42, 75 kills. Insane, dude. Against New York Excelsior, another 3-2. Topping the kills out of everybody. So far, the only player in all of their games to have more kills than him is Profit. That's it so far. Moving on to this one. Guys, and if I didn't even count this Houston Outlaws game, these stats would be just mind-blowing. Once again, oh, and here comes Dreamcasper, by the way. Now that Dreamcasper is back in the mix, he actually was up there with Striker getting those amount of kills. Which, to think about it, if Dreamcasper was still on this roster, like, look at this, finally. People getting more kills than Striker, and Dreamcasper's on the roster. Seriously, if he wasn't a freaking pedo, I don't even want to talk about him. The guy is just disgusting. But if he wasn't like that, the Boston Uprising would be so freaking good right now. Like, I don't want to take anything away from mistakes, but Dreamcasper was good. He was good. I hate to admit it, but it's true. Another one where they lost in kills, but they still won the game. Another 3-2. Striker, yeah, man. Wow, Dreamcasper played really good that game. So did Striker, though. And the rest of their team not really doing much. It's just, Wow, it's crazy how close every single game they have ever played is and how good Striker plays in all of them. He's so consistent. All right, now this is really what I wanted to take a look at. The past 11 games they've played, guys. Oh, actually, this isn't the past 11 games they've played. It's the past 13, but I excluded their Shanghai game and the Dallas Fuel game because I feel it was kind of unfair to put those in here because everybody stomps them. They're just not that great right now. So these are their past 13 games minus those two. So this column is the team fights won. This column is the team fights lost. Total, they won 430 fights over these 11 games and lost 349. That's an 81 difference. That is extremely close. Now, looking at their kills, it's even closer. 2,271 kills total, 2,135 deaths total. That's 136 difference, guys. 8 of their maps went to game 5s and 53 maps total. These stats right here prove that the Boston Uprising just knows how to win at the end of the day. It doesn't matter whether they're up or down in team fights and kills. They know how to get those map wins. It ain't easy, though. It goes all the way down to that very 5th map. But which also proves that they are probably the most clutch team in the entire league right now. 8 game 5s, and they won all 8 of them. That's freaking ridiculous, and we all know why. This man right here, Striker, if it wasn't for him consistently performing in every single one of these games, they would not have won them all. There's no way. If the Boston Uprising win this stage, Striker is the MVP of the league 100%. There's no doubt in my mind. No one can argue that he isn't. Sure, Fisher, Jonak, Ark, all those guys I listed yesterday, they're close, but you can't top this. You can't. Especially if Striker goes on to stage 4 and continues to perform with the Boston Uprising. It's a wrap. He's the MVP. And these guys are legit a championship contender. They're probably the favorites to win it all right now. They have to be. I guess we'll wait till Sunday and see who wins the playoffs, but they got to be the favorites. They have to. Moving on to the match that they played earlier today against the LA Gladiators, another extremely close one. Volskaya was neck and neck. One thing to note though, Los Angeles Gladiators are very good at Volskaya. They have one of the better records out of all the teams in the league. So the fact that Boston Uprising was able to win it was a surprise to me. Then moving on to Numbani, Boston Uprising actually dominated this map. It was the only one out of this entire set that wasn't close at all, putting Boston up 2-0. And at this point, I was like, there's no way the Boston Uprising will win this next map. The Gladiators are going to win the next 2. It's going to go to a map 5, then Boston will win. It's just written in stone. That's what happens with the Boston Uprising. Honestly, we could say it's basically a ritual at this point. And it was an extremely close map. Nepal was very exciting. And seriously, Surefour has been playing great this stage as well. I've been giving him a decent amount of credit so far, and it's well deserved. He went from a mediocre player in stage 1 and 2 to one of the best DPS players right now in the league. I think Asher going back to Korea was one of the best things to happen to him. He really got rejuvenated when he started playing a little bit of Tracer, more Widowmaker, and now he's just an all-star. So then we moved on to Route 66, and I was like, all right, Gladiators again, they're going to win it. We're going to Game 5. There's no way we aren't. And this map was so insane. I take it back. Nepal probably wasn't the best map. Route 66 was. And oh my god, I thought the Gladiators were going to win. They had such a good push in their overtime. It was just so unfortunate that they lost it. Boston Uprising again are so clutch. It was a total 64 kills to 64 on this map. Dead even. 12 team fights in favor of the Gladiators and 10 for Boston Uprising. So Gladiators had this one, man. We were gonna see Oasis 100%, but the Boston Uprising, they pulled out that crazy attack on overtime, and they won it, man. So there ain't much else to say about this set. The Gladiators were able to pull one map out, so that will help them when the Philadelphia Fusion take on LA Valiant tomorrow. We'll talk more about that at the end of the video. And again, one last time, round of applause for the Boston Uprising guys. Absolutely amazing what they've done so far. The first team to go 10-0 in a stage, completely wiped them all out, and they did it in the most amazing fashion. Almost every single match they played was amazing. We got so many game 5s. God damn, what a run. What a run, and I hope it doesn't end here. And now I guess we can talk about the New York Excelsior and Shanghai Dragons match. We won't go too much in detail about it. It wasn't close. They did get a map, though, in favor of Shanghai. That was a bit surprising, especially Numbani. It's usually a map where the better team can come out on top every single time. We started off on Volskaya. Wasn't really close. New York Excelsior, they did give up the first point, but they were solid on their second defense. Their attack was nice, and yeah, it was just a free win. Moving on to Numbani, this is where I was surprised. It was close. Shanghai Dragons did look like the better team, though. And when Addo and Dia both are on fire and playing lights out, Shanghai Dragons is scary. The combination of Dia's Widowmaker and Addo's Tracer is insane. It's nuts. And by the way, Addo is turning into an all-star in this league. My god, at first I just thought, okay, he's a Genji one-trick, Don't let him play Tracer. He wasn't good at it. Out of nowhere, the past 3 weeks, this guy's one of the best Tracers in the league, it seems like. No matter who they're going up against, if it's New York, if it's Boston, if it's Philly, he's putting up a good performance. Really solid. I mean, I might as well show you guys this clip if you haven't seen it. It was from the match today on Route 66. Ado literally 1v2'd Sabiobi and Pine, both the DPS players from New York Excelsior. He took them out solely, dude. Let's roll the clip.
Less than a meter away from finishing B. Fearless does get the kill on the Pine. Now the self-destruct coming in for KINGmykL, catches Shonak. That's a problem. KINGmykL got the DMEC on the Meko as well. Single-handedly kind of turning this fight around, and now it's just Mono on the point.
Sabiobi is there as well, does get 2 with the pulse bomb and kills KINGmykL. It's just a one-on-one with Otto and Sabiobi now.
Oh, and this is about the point B. Can they do it? Pine comes in at the last moment. Otto trying to win this duel to get it there, but Sabiobi right there. Otto does get the kill on the Pine, but now Meko returns. Otto got Sabiobi too, fighting the 1v2, and he gets both kills. They don't complete B, but man, what an effort by Otto.
It was both Tracers popping off Noah, because if Sabiobi doesn't get those kills, there's not even a chance for the defense. The rest of Shanghai are back though.
10 seconds, Jonak right there. I can't believe they stopped him for so long here. Now Sabiobi down. Shanghai should be able to finally get B. They will, just as it ticks into overtime.
If he continues to play like that, these guys are going to beat the Dallas Fuel 100%. I'm like 100% convinced the Shanghai Dragons are going to beat the Dallas Fuel right now. So Shanghai, they picked up Nubani, we moved over to Nepal, and New York Excelsior, they started dominating again. This map was a blowout. One of the biggest stomps I've seen so far. I don't think Shanghai won one team fight. Maybe one, that's it though. Then moving on to Route 66, it was closer than Nepal, but overall not really that close. They definitely got way more kills, but New York Excelsior, they dominated. And they look pretty decent going into the playoffs. I can't wait for a New York Excelsior and Boston Uprising finals. It's going to be absolutely insane. Obviously, I don't want to speak too soon because there could be an upset, and it will be interesting seeing who the Boston Uprising choose to face in the first round since they are the #1 seed. We'll definitely talk about that tomorrow night in the video once we figure out who made it into the playoffs. Alright, now it's time for what you guys have all been waiting for. RYUJEHONG is on Winston. What the hell is going on with Seoul Dynasty? Seoul Dynasty has 2 main tank players, Cookie and Miro, but they decide to field RYUJEHONG in only 1 week of practice on main tank against the London Spitfire. One of their biggest matchups they have left in the entire season, considering how close they are from dropping off playoffs. So very gutsy and ballsy move coming from Seoul Dynasty. Overall, I mean, I don't really know how to break it down. RYUJEHONG didn't look amazing or anything on main tank, but he also didn't look completely terrible. And since this is the first time Seoul Dynasty has ever even gotten a map off the London Spitfire, I guess you could say it was a success. I'm not sure if it had anything to do with RYUJEHONG on that Winston though, because Fleta played great, Munchkin played great. It really did seem like it was more of the DPS duo's work getting it this close. And obviously the London Spitfire are not even close to being as nearly good as they were in Stage 2 or Stage 1. So that probably had a factor too. I think this is a decent way to maybe break down the performance. So today, Gesture in this match went 39 and 38 KD wise. RYUJEHONG went 28 and 46, not the best. Now let's go ahead and look at the Stage 2 matchup between London Spitfire and Seoul Dynasty. Gesture went 34 and 24 in that match. So KD wise, a better performance. And since there was one less map, it would make sense that he had less kills. Then Miro, he went 23 and 33. To be honest, a much better KD than 28 and 46, especially considering Miro lost this match 0-4. RYUJEHONG went 2 and 3. So I don't know about that. I mean, obviously you got to compare their play. Stats don't show everything, but this is a bit telling. And it's really hard to judge RYUJEHONG's play since he's only played 1 game so far, and we really didn't get to see him too much. You know, the camera was on him sometimes, but it wasn't enough to really know if he was nailing it or not. Moving on to the next statistic I want to talk about is RYUJEHONG's performance on Zenyatta in their last match against London Spitfire, and Guido's performance on Zenyatta in their matchup today. So RYUJEHONG, when they played London Spitfire in Stage 2, he went 11 and 44 on the Zenyatta. That's in 4 maps. And Guido today in 5 maps went 13 and 48. So this is very interesting. There was an extra map for Guido to die more in, and he had 4 more deaths. And there was also an extra map for Guido to get kills in, and he had 2 more kills than RYUJEHONG did in his match. These are kind of even statistics here. It seems like Guido statistically did pretty decent compared to Jehong in his last matchup. So I figured this would be a decent way to kind of check how the performance was for Jehong, since, you know, they really didn't spectate him too much, and when they did, he just looked, I don't know, okay. And obviously we're going to need to see more gameplay from him to see if he will actually be good main tank and if he should take the duties away from Miro. The biggest thing of it all, though, is that Seoul Dynasty did get maps today. They were 0-8 coming into this match against the London Spitfire, and with only 1 week's practice on Winston, maybe even less, that's pretty good. So I'm definitely intrigued to see what else he can do. Moving forward, I'm going to keep my eye on Seoul Dynasty, that's for sure. Again, though, it's just so interesting because there's other teams in the league who have struggled with main tanks, and they only have one. Seoul Dynasty has 2 of them, and one of them is Miro. Miro, the guy who was considered to be the best Winston in the entire world leading up to the Overwatch League. Literally, if anybody said 3 months ago that Jehong would be taking over Winston duties from Miro, no one would believe you. No one. And if I did know somebody who said that now, I would be calling the cops on them because they gotta be a freaking time traveler, a fortune teller. Hell, I don't know. That would be the most insane prediction. Let's talk a little bit about the actual match now and the London Spitfire. We did see Birdring back finally on Volskaya. Didn't really have the best of a performance. We saw him on the Widowmaker, McCree, some Genji. Didn't do good on any of them, to be honest. Overall, it still was a close map. It pretty much went down to that very last team fight, and Seoul Dynasty did take it. Moving on to Numbani, I was like, man, when is Birdring going to be back? It's so sad seeing such an amazing player perform at such a low level for so long now. And finally, Birdring gave us what we wanted. A really good performance on that Genji McCree and Widowmaker on this map. He had some good Genji blades, he was hitting amazing shots, and it seems like his wrist might be healing. And in stage 4, hopefully he's back full time because Hureg, yeah, he's been improving. He's been playing pretty decent for them. But Birdring in his peak, Hureg is not even near that level. So hopefully he comes back. Oh, and Prophet, he played amazing on this map. Him and Birdring were killing everything. It wasn't just this map for Prophet, though. He had an amazing match. And for anybody who argued that I shouldn't have put Prophet in the MVP status yesterday, watch this match again. The guy is so good. The Genji play, the Tracer play, phenomenal. And that put London Spitfire at 10-0 on Numbani, one of the best records out of all the teams in the entire league. If you get Numbani against the London Spitfire, you're gonna lose. We then moved on to Ilios, and we actually got to see Jehong's Orisa. It was actually an interesting comp they ran there. They're running a tank-heavy comp with Fleta on the Roadhog. And the round was very close. It went 100-99. Seoul Dynasty picked that last team fight up. Then we went to Runes. And Seoul Dynasty, they're amazing at Runes. They have Fleta, Widowmaker, Hureg. He's not going to be able to outduel him. And the Seoul Dynasty took map 3. Then we moved on to Junkertown. And this is where we really saw that MVP status performance from Prophet. Those Genji blades were out of this world. The guy is just so flexible, so good. We saw his Junkrat. We saw his Roadhog. Seriously, argue with me, guys. Prophet should be considered as an MVP. Match after match, he performs at the highest level. Never, like literally never falls off. And London Spitfire, they were able to pick up Junkertown, and they forced that game 5 on Oasis. And of course, going into map 5 on Oasis, I was a little scared for London. Not as much as I used to be scared going into this map, because recently they've won it and had some really close matches on it, so they've definitely been improving. And lately, Hureg's Sombra play is really damn good. They're starting to run similar comps to the Boston Uprising, and it shows. They were able to pick it up 2-0. Wasn't really that close. Seoul Dynasty, we saw the Jehong Reinhardt. Gesture played like a god on this map. Oh man, those boops on the first map, University, so clutch. And typically it's Gesture and Prophet carrying. This map, it was Hureg and Gesture. So props to Hureg. He's definitely been improving steadily as he plays more. And now if the London Spitfire do run into DPS issues where they need a break, I won't be as scared for running Hureg. But still, I want Birdring back. We need him back. London Spitfire will be so much better if Birdring gets back to his peak. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this set, guys, and this video. Let me know what you guys think about Boston Uprising going 10-0. Jehong on the main tank, absolutely insane. If you're new around here, drop that sub, drop a like, enter the giveaway, guys. You got to. I'm giving away 10 Overwatch League jerseys. And that's it, guys. I will see you tomorrow or later tonight because we've been doing a lot of double uploads lately. And yeah, peace.